Right, so you join us here today, and I'm at a completely different place today, and this is a absolutely stunning venue. It's a place called Wyreside Lakes, and we did actually come down here a few weeks ago and fished on a different lake, which we call Fox's Lake, and that was a very tough day. And I think the main reason for that was because I think it was just probably due to the weather. And that lake that we did fish is the newest lake. It's only been there 4 or 5 years. But this lake that we're fishing today is a very matured place. It's 25-year-old. Well, it's been untouched for 25 years. So what lives in here is pretty much unknown. I'm going to be fishing for carp for a bit, and then I'm probably going to stick a float rod out and see what actually lurks in this lake. I think there's probably just going to be a bit of all sorts of what's in the other ones, which is nearly all main fish that live in the UK. So I'm going to get these rods out, and I'm already seeing a lot of signs of fish. So I'm going to get set up, tie a couple of fresh rigs up, and I'm going to bait up a few spots down where I can see the fish and lower a rigging really quietly so we don't spook any. And I think I'm going to feed it up with chili hemp and corn and maybe a few pellets as well. Right, so currently I'm just tying the rigs of choice for today, and what I'm going with is basically just 2 pieces of fake corn and a bait stop. And the reason behind using fake corn instead of actual corn is there's a lot of roach in here. Well, I'm guessing there's probably a lot of roach in here. I don't want to be sat there with a rig out in the water with no bait on, so I've opted to fish with fake corn in order to minimise the doubt of whether I've got bait on or not, and I won't have to move it about as much. I'm just going to use size 10 curved shanked hooks, and I'm probably going to fish with a lead clip on here, with a small lead, because I've heard it's quite silty as well. I don't want that bait to be dragged down under it with a lead, so I'll probably put a little 1 ounce lead on as well. Like I said, I think the biggest fish in here is 16 pound, but I think there's quite a lot. So hopefully that'll work in my favour. I haven't had a bite for a while, so I'm fishing for a beep today, or some sort of indication. I'm quite happy as well because there's not that many people on. It's a Thursday, so it's pretty quiet. So I'll continue tying these rigs up, and I'll get back to you once I'm casting rods in water. Bob's is fishing just next to me there. He's going to try for a few of the other coarse fish. I'm probably going to do the same later on. So we'll see how he gets on as well. Hopefully he manages to get some. None of us have had a good session for a while. Fishing's been very tough. Let's sort these out and get them in. So my first rod's set up now. I'm going to just get it casting. Set it up with a lead clip and a 1 ounce lead. Let's get it down there where I put that bait in. See if I can make a good first cast. That'll do. Close enough. So yeah, like I don't really know what the size of fish in here are, to be honest. Probably not massive. Right, that's in water. Let's see what happens. Right, I'm in already to a fish. I didn't take long. I've caught a stick as well. I think there's still a fish on it. We've still got something on? Have I just got a branch? I don't know. Is there something on here? Yep. Oh, it's a tench. It's a decent tench. A big stick and a big tench. I've got a big tench, mate, is what I've got. Tench. Big un. Yes. What a lovely tench that is. Come on, mate. I knew they were in here, but I didn't think they were this big. Good few pound, this one. What a lovely fish that is. And the blank is over already. Yes. Right then, first cast. After about 20 seconds, I've caught a nice tree and a lovely tench. That were in a matter of seconds with that. Perfectly hooked in corner at the mouth. But these fish look virtually uncaught. I mean, a lot of people might get done over by these fish. They fight really hard, but that's unhooked. That's the rig that's done the damage. Let's get that placed over to one side. I thought it were a lot bigger with that tree on line as well, but look at the quality of that fish. Absolutely stunning. Probably about £2–3 tench. First cast after about 20 seconds. Didn't even have a chance to put my alarm on, which probably I'm going to do now, because I think there might be a few down in that hole. But great choice to fish there. Didn't even get a second rod in. But we'll get this one back in and see if we can land a few more, or even some carp. Just get this twig out of the way. Let's get this beauty back in. Let's see if we can get a few more. Oh, worth coming anyway, worth my tenner. Well, Bob's his tenner. Right, well, landing that tench in the first 2 minutes of putting the rod in. I'm going to get it back out now. I can't believe how quick that was. What a nice fish to boot as well. Hopefully there's a couple more down there. See if we can get it in the same spot. Or close. Bit of a dodgy cast. Leave it there. I think there might be a few down. It looks, if you look at that hole there, it looks perfect for tench. Probably quite a few snags and all, but I'm fishing with pretty heavy gear, so I think if I need to pull hard, I can. I don't think any fishing here will break me off. I mean, I'm using my carp setup really, because we were going to go on one of the other lakes, but just fancied it on here. See if we can just catch something for once. I think I'd better put my alarm on as well. Turn it down a bit. There we go. Right, let's see if we can get the other rod in before another bite. This one's going for it. But we're into another fish. It's been a few hours coming, this one now. Finally got another bite. I didn't think I was going to get one here. I was just about to move pegs. Not sure what it is yet. I think it's probably a carp. We're trying to get in them snags big time. Oh, is that a tench? No way. It's another tench, and I think it's actually a bigger one. It's a freaking monster. Monster tench. Shot off like a rocket, that one. Tench corner down there by the looks of it. Good sized fish is that. I think you probably struggle to get these in on float gear. It's a wide fish, that. It's probably 4 or 5 pound easy. Come on, mate. Let's get him in. Yes. That might be a PB tench for me. Right then. Here we are, fish number 3, I think. Another stunning tench. I think that might be personal best tench for me, to be honest. Probably about 4 or 5 pound. I'm gonna weigh it because I'm curious. So yeah, caught on the same rig again, double fake corn, and I was just losing hope, but obviously they're still there. Really wide fish is that. Probably an old one. Let's give it a weigh anyway. Just to see. I'm just going to weigh it with net, I'm not too bothered. Take net off after. So it's bang on 7 with the net. So I reckon net's about £2, £2.5. Don't know, we'll have to have a look. Let's get her back in. Monster bream. Don't hang about, do they? What a lovely fish. Bobs. Right, well, I'm into the 4th fish of the day now. Feels like another tench, to be honest. Or is it? Yeah, another one. a lot of them down there, but it's perfect habitat for them. It's not as big as the other one, this 2-pounder. Just grab my net. And there we go. Another one in the bag. There we go. Tench number 3. Let's get her back in. So in terms of gear that I'm using, you might think this setup looks a bit overkill for Tench, and to be honest, you probably are thinking right. Basically, it's my carp setup, but I heard this water behind me is very snaggy, and the swim that I wanted to fish, which is just behind me, is basically you've got to pull on these fish to get them to turn around away from the snags. So I'm fishing with a 3-pound test curve rod. I could probably knock it down to about 2 or 1 3/4 and still be fine, and I'd probably give it a bit more leeway, but I don't have one of them rods, so I'm using this. That's fished with 20-pound fluoro line, which is ultra low diameter for how strong it is, and then I've just got a carp reel on. I mean, you could just use your little match reel, to be honest, but these just give you a bit more winding power to get them away from them snags. And then down from that, I'm just using about 2 foot of dark matter rig tubing, which is really heavy, so it pins on the bottom well. But I found if you fish those with a tight line, for example, if you were fishing right next to a snag and you were fishing with them and you fish a tight line, it just sticks up out of the water unnaturally. So don't do that. Always fish with a semi-slack or a slack line if you're using some sort of leader material or rig tubing. Then I've just got that down to a little lead clip, which I just pull into the lead clip, not all the way till it clicks in, just slightly. I do that for everything, to be honest, just so it releases if anything happens. Then it's down to a little quick change link and a little bit of shrink tubing over the top so it doesn't fall off. And then basically about 4 inches of coated braid, and then I put a little shot here where the coating in the braid's broken off, and that just keeps that popped up corn down on the bottom well. Going on to that, I've got a size 10 hook, a little bit of shrink tubing on the hook, and then just 2 pieces of fake corn, and that's what's been doing the business. So it just basically sits off at the bottom like that. Because this lake's very silty, and I don't want my bait to be in the silt with my lead, I've opted for a popped up presentation really, and it seems to be working. I mean, I can't fault myself for doing that. So yeah, we'll get this rod back in now and let's see if we can get one more before we have to go home. Well, just as it getting a bit grim, thinking we weren't going to get another, I mucked up again. It feels like another Tench does this, shaking like one. It's got to be. It's turning into a dream session, is this? It is, another stunner. And they shoot off like absolute rockets in here. Another stunning fish. Specimens these, proper specimen. I mean, they go up to 10 pound in here. I haven't managed any that big, but you see how it's going now. I can't just see if I can stop it. lock up a bit. Turn it away from that line. Luckily I've got the power to turn them when I need to. It's another beautiful fish. There we are. I don't have no number we're on now, but this is turning into an absolutely amazing session. Not a mark on it again. There we go. Hooks out, get the rig out of the way. Hold it up for camera again. I mean, they all look like the same fish, but that might be the biggest one of the day, that. It's probably pushing £5. I mean, I've had a great brace of these today. I probably couldn't ask for any more. Had the one bonus carp as well. So, what more could you honestly ask for? Basically, it's a bit of a dream session for me for these fish. I've never even caught any this big. So, let's get her back in anyway, where she belongs. Well, just casting in for the last time of an absolutely amazing session. Still time for another bite yet. We've got about 15 minutes of fishing left. But whatever happens, I couldn't complain about absolutely anything. I mean, when I got here this morning, I wasn't feeling overly confident, to be honest, but it just shows if you get out and try catch fish like this, as long as you're here, there's a good chance that you're gonna. If anyone's thinking about going out fishing for tench, maybe on a carp water, which we've got big tench in, this setup's as good as any, and it works. As you can see, it has worked for me. You don't have to overcomplicate stuff, and you don't have to fish too light for big tench, because they're not overly bothered about it as long as the water's not terribly clear. And you should be fine. But yeah, get out and try, that's all you can do. I've got a feeling there might be time for one more bite, but we'll see.